This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the POSTCAST, brought by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Tim Daniel, and today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Join all the action at FanDuel.com, play daily dingers, and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer this MLB season. Well, on today's show, Hunter Greene was awesome. We're going to get into his start. Tyler Stephenson stays hot and makes some history in more than one way. And the Reds take advantage of the altitude today to get a big win at Coors Field, winning their first series since late June against the Colorado Rockies. All that and a whole lot more. And let's go ahead and get to the turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
The turning point in this game was pretty plain and simple. Nathaniel Lowe in the first inning puts a 3-run homer on the board. The Reds are up 3-0, and they don't look back. Tyler Stephenson does follow that with a 2-run homer after that to make it 5-0. And the Reds were in business immediately in this one. And this is the beauty of Coors Field, right? This is what you love about games in Colorado. And, you know, I know we're going to talk about the fact the Reds got their big series win here, and people are going to be like, well, you know, it's the Rockies. They should beat the Rockies. Yes, I agree. But if you heard what John Sadak said at the end of the broadcast, the Rockies are no slouch at Coors Field. They've won their last, I think, 3 or 4 series there until the Reds came in and took care of business this week. So it's not like it's a team that, you know, we know what they are away from here. But what they are away from Colorado. But when they go on the road, when they're in Coors Field and they're playing, they're normally pretty darn good. So you saw, obviously, the Reds got some homers today. That one, so Hunter Greene obviously hits some as well. Sal Stewart gets his 20th of the year, and I was listening to the radio broadcast at that point, and it just sounded loud. It sounded like a thud, how hard he hit that ball to make it 8-1. And obviously, we know we're going to get to Tyler Stephenson here a little later in the second, but Hunter Greene also hits 2 for the Rockies, and then Willie Castro hits 1 off of Emilio Pagan as well. So a lot of homers in this series. That's kind of the way it goes. The Reds have their best power series of the season so far to the Colorado series, which you expect is going to happen between Trevino hitting 2 homers yesterday, Ellie's game on Friday, and then this one. Pretty fun. You know, I know we haven't a whole lot of time to enjoy this season, but this was a fun series. This is, you know, Colorado is basically Major League Baseball softball game with the altitude. So the Reds took full advantage of the altitude today, and they go out there and get the win, and we'll absolutely take that. Let's talk about some highlights of some guys before we get to Ty Steve. Of course, Ellie today, 2 runs scored. Sal Stewart, we mentioned the 3-run homer. JJ Bleday gets a hit today. Nathaniel Lowe has this 3-run homer. Gino gets a hit today, does have 2 strikeouts, but Gino's been swinging the bat better of late. And then Dane Myers, 2 hits and 2 walks today. So they brought it. They were pretty ready to go today, and that was nice to see. You're starting to see the offense, you know, take advantage of that. Obviously, now coming up, they've got to go to Seattle, which is another pretty decent ballpark. So we're kind of curious to see what that's going to look like when they get there tomorrow night, especially because Tuesday is, if you haven't seen already, look up what the Tuesday starting projected starters are. It's going to have you in your feels as a Reds fan. But I thought this was a lot of fun today. It was a day of the Reds. You really want to see them have. I mean, yeah, they do leave 5 on base. They do go 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. But they were really good today. And I will enjoy the days they are very good because we don't get to see them all too often. So that's how today goes. And let's talk about our boy, Tyler Stephenson, Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
So Tyler Stephenson today hits 2 homers for the Redlegs. He is 3 for 4 with 3 runs batted in. He is now up to hitting 247, has a 721 OPS. Do you remember there were times earlier in the year when I was saying, does he know he's in a contract year? I think he's figured it out that he's in a contract year. So I mentioned it. There's 2 ways today that Tyler Stephenson made history along with a companion. So with Jose Trevino hitting 2 homers yesterday and Tyler Stephenson hitting 2 homers today, it's the first time in Cincinnati Reds history the catcher position has back-to-back games with 2 home runs. And then between Hunter Greene today hitting his 3 home runs for the Rockies and Tyler Stephenson hitting his 2 for the Reds, it's the first game in Major League history where the catchers combine for 5 home runs. Pretty cool. I like to see those fun things. These baseball nerd stats are right up my alley. And we just keep talking about it. And Tyler Stephenson keeps chugging along. He's now up in his last 30 games to 309, 356 on base, and 485 slugging with 4 home runs, 10 runs batted in, 7 walks, 9 runs scored. There is a lot in the chat right now about why they should or shouldn't trade Tyler Stephenson. I get it either way. I would love to keep him, but I think they're going to get too many good offers. And it sucks because I want him to be here, but contract year, sounds like conversation between him and the front office isn't exactly going super well. So I don't see him being here come July, and I don't know how things go. So I hope he's still a Red. I don't see it happening. But today was a lot of fun, and I definitely appreciate everything he was able to do for this team, because when he wasn't hurt, he was one of the better catchers in baseball for this team. And, who's to say he's not going to be here in a couple weeks? I don't think he is, but there's plenty of reason to think otherwise. But I just don't think the Reds are going to get an extension with him. I don't think he signs back. It sounds like their conversations aren't very promising either. So we'll see what happens. But today was really fun. Yesterday was really fun with him as well. It's really cool to see these two guys, the catcher position, hit as well as they have of late. So I mentioned Stephenson and obviously what he's been doing of recent memory. Jose Trevino has kind of backed him up pretty well as well as of late too. And pull these up real quick because I remember looking at it yesterday. I forgot to read it off. So Trevino in his last 7 is hitting .423 with 3 homers and 8 RBI, 423 on base, 846 slugging. So what the Reds are getting from the catcher position right now is tank season. And by the way, Alfredo Duno is on the way. So how about that for the Red Legs, at least getting some love from the catcher position? And you know who else fully deserves some love today? One Hunter Greene. Let's talk about Hunter Greene and more right after this. The Reds Postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Baseball fans, if you think you know who's hitting a homer today, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to call your shot with daily dingers. It's easy to play. Just make your free pick for who you think will hit a home run in their game. If you're right, you'll receive a profit boost to use in your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Best of all, you can make a free pick every day throughout the MLB season. Daily Dingers is another way to stay engaged with everyday's games, whether you're following your favorite team or keeping an eye on matchups across the league. Every game has someone capable of going deep. Now you get the chance to make your predictions before first pitch. Sometimes it's a hitter who's been on a hot streak, a favorable pitching matchup, or even a ballpark that tends to give up home runs. Those are always the first things you got to look at before making your daily dingers picks. So are you ready to play your game today? Join all the action at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com to play daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball. This episode is also brought to you by Odoo. Running a business shouldn't feel like you're trying to connect a bunch of systems that were never designed to work together. One app for accounting, another for inventory, another for sales, and somehow none of them talk to each other. That's where Odoo comes in. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that brings every part of your business together in one powerful platform. From sales and accounting to inventory and marketing, everything works in one place, helping your team move faster and stay organized and focus on growing the business instead of managing software. Best organizations know that success isn't just about talent. It's about everyone working towards the same goal, and that's true in sports just like it is in business. Recently, the Reds signed Chase Burns to a huge extension, the biggest the Reds have ever given out. You can tell this wasn't a reactionary move. The organization had a vision, stuck to it, and now you're seeing the results before everyone was working from the same playbook. Great organizations win because operations matter, and that's why you should get Odoo. Try for free today at odoo.com/lockedon. That's odoo.com/LOCKEDON. And lastly, we are brought to you by our friends over at Stance. As the official sock partner of Major League Baseball, Stance knows greatness isn't built in a single moment. It's earned over time through consistency, preparation, and showing up every day. That's why each week we're recognizing one player whose performance embodies those same qualities. This week's everyday icon is Chase Burns. As mentioned, Burns signed a 7-year extension with the Reds coming off his first All-Star game appearance. Burns is currently sporting an 11-1 record with a 2.54 ERA and 118 strikeouts. The everyday icon is presented by Stance. Check out the icon collection for Stance premium comfort, performance, and durability designed for whatever your day brings. Use promo code LOCKEDON at checkout for 20% off your purchase. Stance, the official sock partner of Major League Baseball. And believe me, I can tell you this, I have incredibly way too many pairs of Stance socks. They are comfortable, they feel great, and sometimes you don't even know you're wearing socks. Learn more at stance.com. Want to give a shout out to our everydayers here on the Postcast. Thank you so much for spending some time with us as we discuss the Cincinnati Reds series win over the Colorado Rockies with a 9-6 win today at Coors Field. If you are an everydayer, let's go ahead and step up your everydayer game where you can come on here and have access to ad-free episodes of not only me after every single Reds game, but Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked on Reds. And your other favorite Reds shows as well. Your other favorite baseball shows as well. So that's part of the fun as well. You also get access to our Discord chat. We're in there talking ball. We love talking ball with all of you. And I know tomorrow, Jeff and Steve will have a great Locked on Reds recapping this series and getting you ready for what's going on at Safeco Field against the Seattle Mariners. Let's get to Hunter Greene for a bit because he was very good today.
It's time to reveal who made the biggest under-the-radar impact with today's X Factor.
Let's talk about Hunter Greene today because he has his second really good start in back-to-back outings. You know, if you remember after his first one, it was kind of a thing where it didn't look promising, but it was his first start and the strikeouts were there and you thought, okay, he's going to get it together. Goes out there on his next start and pitches really well against the Cubbies, which he always does that. But to go today at Coors Field and have a quality start of 6 innings on 3 runs, just 4 hits, you'll take that. And by the way, 2 of those 4 hits were Hunter Goodman homers. That guy hits homers all the time. He has 30 of them on the year now. So I can't be too mad at Hunter Greene for giving that up, especially there. But to see him kind of just lock in and be himself again is really fun. And this whole silly thing going around right now where it's like, well, since they signed Chase Burns, they now got to trade Hunter Greene. Like, why would you not want to see those 2 guys back to back? Why would you not want to see a starting rotation if they ever can make the playoffs again of Burns, Greene, Abbott? I don't understand that. I don't understand why people are so like, well, you know, we got this one, so we got to get rid of the other. Like, Hunter Greene's got a long-term deal too for a few more years. Chase Burns is here for 7 years now. Let's keep it the way it is and let's just enjoy it. So Hunter Greene is going to be awesome. And I'm not worried about him the rest of the year. No matter what the team looks like, I think at least Greene and Burns are going to give them quality outings every time they take the ball. So I will enjoy that. To the bullpen today. Brock Burke has a decent inning. Sam Mull does not. Has an inning where he gives up 2 runs, like obviously on a homer. And then Emilio Pagan also gives up a homer in his only outing as well. Bullpen's starting to come back to the bullpen. Not fun. Obviously, it doesn't really matter a whole lot if we don't have any promise for the season. But would like to see them kind of get things going there, but I don't see how that goes. And also want to make mention, Tyler Stephenson today again, talked about the homers earlier. 4 ABS challenges today. Big fan of that. Really big fan of that. Some comments in the chat about Lodolo probably traded. If they could, I think they would, honestly. Because I don't think anyone's going to take the risk on him with the blister if he can't pitch. So I would like to see the Reds see if they can get a deal for him, but I don't really see that happening. Other things today I want to kind of make mention of. So like I said, the Reds pitching staff today. No walks. 9 strikeouts to 0 walks as a staff. Even though they do give up 4 homers. Pretty cool. Like to see those games from the Reds where they're really pitch efficient and kind of taking care of business. Greene only had 94 pitches today. Brock Burke only had 9 pitches in his inning. And then, of course, kind of go from there. Emilio Pagan does have 22. So you'd imagine Emilio Pagan might not be ready for tomorrow's game in Seattle. And I know that someone wants to talk about, I know the Elliott error will come up in conversation at some point. The play he made right after that was awesome. So I'm not too worried about it. And I don't think you should be either. I mean, at this point last year, like what, 19 errors? Now he's got 8 and he's still elite as far as outs above average. I think we're going to be okay with his outing. But hey, we're going to enjoy this because the Reds are victors today, 9-6 over the Colorado Rockies. The Reds have 9 runs on 10 hits and an error. The Rockies have 6 runs on 8 hits and 0 errors. Hunter Greene is your winning pitcher. He is now 2-1 with a 6.06 ERA. And Ryan Feltner takes the loss for the Rockies. He is 3-4 with a 5.48. And tomorrow night we begin a late series as the Reds head to old Seattle, Washington to take on the Mariners. Andrew Abbott will take the hill for the Redlegs. He is 5-5 with a 4.11 ERA. He'll be going against George Kirby of the Mariners. He is 7-8 with a 3.76 ERA. That's going to be a really fun matchup, actually. That's going to be a really good pitcher's game. First pitch will be at 9:40 Eastern. So if anyone wants to Venmo me for some coffee, let me know. I will give you my ID, and I would really appreciate it. But everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Always fun to talk about a Reds win. I'm Tim Daniel. Please be sure to stay tuned in on your podcast app of choice or here on YouTube. Hit that subscription button and that notification button so you not only get me, but you get Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds as well. Thank you all again. Go Red Legs. I will see you very late tomorrow.